What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much for watching the show. Wanted to talk to you about our friends over at Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching sports. This app is really easy to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your cash on a single lineup. Best of all, Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use the promo code PFF and download the app now. It's Jaxson Dart.
It's Jaxson Dart.
That's what
Wow. Second quarterback
won the battle.
Off
Joe Shane's son spoiled it.
the board. You know, this is, I just want to talk about this because we talked about it on, I believe it was the last mock draft that we did yesterday. With Jaxson Dart being the pick here and Shedeur Sanders not being the pick, it was reported that there was someone from the Giants at every single game that Shedeur Sanders played this year. Whether it was Joe Shane himself, scouts, whatever. Somebody was at every single game. They interviewed him extensively with John Mara there at the Shrine Bowl. Mm-hmm. They met with him at the Combine, and they had a private workout with him, as well as meeting with him while they were at Colorado's Pro Day. To me, that signaled, okay, you're not interested in Sanders. Why would you have to meet with a guy this many times? You don't. You would have had to meet with him at the Shrine Bowl and then go, yep, we're good. That's our guy. You went to every game, you did all the due diligence, all of that stuff with Shedeur. And it ends up with Jaxson Dart being the pick as QB2 here in this draft. Dalton, I got to go to you.
Here's what I'll say for it. Okay, Am I the biggest Jaxson Dart fan? No. You know me, I like Shedeur Sanders a lot better. I think Dart, coming from an offense that's so focused on just constantly getting single coverage matchups on go balls and deep balls down the field, only 40% of his dropbacks this past season did not involve a screen, play action, or RPO. For quarterbacks like Ward and Sanders, that was around 64%. Pretty much every other quarterback in this class, except for Quinn Ewers, was well above 50%. Milroe was all the way up there at 71. So I think there's the adjustment to playing under center, to playing in an NFL offense. But there is an advantage to Dart going here, and it's the same one they would have had if it was Milroe, where you're going to sit behind Russell Wilson this year. Russell Wilson's going to walk into week one as their starter. Unless Jaxson Dart pulls a Russell Wilson from back in the day and he somehow wins the job his rookie year. You remember the Matt Flynn situation, all of that. But Dart getting to sit is the ideal situation for him. There is going to be an adjustment to running an NFL offense where you can't have a 12-yard average depth of target. You can't just chuck up go balls because your guys are faster than their guys. The first thing NFL defenses are going to do is prevent home run balls down the field, right? Especially with the two high looks and everything we've been talking about all night. So it's an ideal situation for Dart. Clearly, Brian Daboll won the argument between the two of them. I think the Browns, if they felt better about Shedeur, are feeling really good right now sitting at 33, knowing that, okay, Shedeur's on the board if we want him at 33. And if they came away with a haul of a trade from Jacksonville, plus Mason Graham, plus Shedeur, we'll get there if that happens at 33. Or maybe the Saints still think they're lurking there possibly too. But the Giants get their guy. Brian Daboll gets his guy. The only thing I'd be curious about is, there was such an urgency to win this year. Does this buy them more time beyond this year? Or if they go and crash even with Wilson as their quarterback, or Dart has to play earlier than they expect, where is the urgency to play Jaxson Dart? Because Wilson's only a one-year contract, albeit a pretty decent one. There's a lot of dynamics here at play, but the Giants, clearly, they wanted to go up and get their guy, and their guy ended up being Dart.
I'm a little surprised, but I think Jaxson Dart, listen, if you look at the advanced numbers for PFF, he's had back-to-back 90-plus grades, 91.9 passing grade this last year. That led all quarterbacks in the country. So based on all the advanced analytics, he is on the same level as Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. Now, the caveat is he plays in arguably the most quarterback-friendly offense in the country, right? It's very one read or take off and run. He's got good mobility, too, right? He's got over 1,200 rushing yards over the last 2 years, too. I like this situation for him, though, because if the Steelers took him, he's the week one starter, assuming Aaron Rodgers is not signed there, right? In New York, he might even be the third-string quarterback behind Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. So this is a good situation for him. I still would have taken Shedeur Sanders here, but I understand the thinking here with Jaxson Dart, and we'll see. Now he's got maybe 1 or 2 years to learn how to be an NFL quarterback. I like the situation for him.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
It doesn't totally surprise me. Shedeur, I thought there were some opportunities for him to hit the deep balls down the field when I was watching Travis Hunter. Some of the times I was like, the ball's just not getting there, right? And I think he has a beautiful release. I think he does a great job when he throws on time. He sort of fell in love with himself and his ability to scramble around, and that's when he was at his worst. And can you coach that out of somebody? I think, but I'm not sure. And so I still think he's going to get drafted, and he may end up still being a really top-end player. And I think before this first round's over, probably somebody jumps into the first round and takes him. But it did not stun me. I thought he was going to fall. I did.